My sophomore year, I studied abroad in Madagascar. It was the most rewarding and fantastic experience of my life. I'm forever changed from it. I went there knowing that I was going to do PT, and so I was like, okay, let me see what physical therapy looks like in a third world country. We stopped at this one place that we thought was going to be a hospital. That's what our translators told us, but kind of a miscommunication, and it was actually more of like a hospice setting. And so we walked into the facility and it was like 3 different buildings. It was one that was like terminal HIV cases. The second one was terminal cancer. And the third one was leprosy. And that hit me hard because I think of leprosy and I think of like a biblical time disease that like I've never thought of or been worried about catching. And then it was like, it's still here, it's still present, and it's still sending families into exile essentially because they're shunned from their area. And so this was a place that they could come with their loved one who had the leprosy and they could get treatment for whenever they lost their limbs. And so it was really special to see, like, that was where I saw physical therapy and like how I had imagined it helping people, and it was still alive there in those lowest parts. And so I think for me, what's unique about my journey is the humility that I saw there in Madagascar, and that really humbled me in for what my profession is. I feel like I belong at Campbell because I believe in God's timing. And for me, there was 2 specific events that happened around the time of me getting acceptance to Campbell and Accepted Students Day. It was one of those moments that's like, you're supposed to be here, you're on the right path, like one of those like clarification moments. Hurricane Helene just hit, and since I'm from rural North Carolina, it hit my hometown and it hit my undergrad. So I was kind of stuck in like a limbo of what is happening. I haven't talked to my family, and I have Miss Pasnack on the phone, like the first phone call that I had gotten in like 3 days, hadn't heard from my family. And I was like, this is crazy news, this is fantastic. Like, it was kind of like a light in the storm essentially. And she handled it really well with me crying. And I was like, I can't get back to you right now because I haven't heard from my family. But once I got back to them and everything was safe, I knew for a fact that Campbell was where I needed to be. And then another thing that happened was right before my actual interview, my grandmother had passed away, and we called her Mama J. And we had my interview, and it was like hard to get through because it was just like 2 weeks after it happened. And then I got in, and I was at Acceptance Students Day, and we were walking around Little Lillington, and we were like going through the one and only shop that they had at the time. And we walked in there, and I was like looking around. I was like, I saw some pressed flowers, and like I love wildflowers, and it's like kind of a symbol for me. And I like walk over to the booth, and I see like the cards for the artist that created it, and it was Mama J's Crafts. And so I broke down in the middle of the store, and I was like, I'm supposed to be here. So I just feel like God's timing in those times just have really showed me that I'm on the right path. This is where I'm supposed to be, and that it's all in His timing. What brings me joy in this program is knowing that I'm not settling and that I'm pushing myself academically, regardless of how hard it is. That I'm shooting for the stars, and I hope I'll make it. And I know with this faculty and this program that it's attainable. It's gonna be hard, but we'll get there. So far in this program, Dr. Myers has had the biggest impact on me. He has challenged my thinking and flipped it upside down, and he never gives me the answer. He makes me actually dig for it and search for it and like rearrange my thinking so that I'm able to find it in a way that is not just him giving me the answer and you not knowing it. What I'm most excited about going off to clinicals is actually applying what I'm learning, and it not being just like a case, an example in class, or like an OSCE situation where like everyone's staring at you and like your grade matters, but it being an actual patient in front of you and everything you do matters. And so it's like what I'm most excited about is being there and having the person and seeing the actual progression. I chose physical therapy because of the hope that it offers. You have people who come in and they're just completely defeated by whatever they have in front of them, whatever's on their plate that's new, and we're able to use movement and our attitude, and whatever the patient needs in that moment, we're able to meet them there, and we're able to kind of offer a sense of hope in the future. And that's what I love about PT.